We're recording this mid-recording session right now, and Felicia's just bowed out for the night. So that leaves Kyle and myself. And on the intro here, that means we're probably going to talk about movies. So anyway, Kyle,
Probably.
how you been? What have you been up to, man? How you doing?
Doing good. The 2019 movie season is, just starting to kind of lethargically step out of the gate. January is a great time for movies.
Yeah, it's a good time to dump your shit movies like I caught this week when I watched Replicas.
Yeah, there's a reason none of us saw that.
6% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I don't normally go by like movie scores because I've liked some movies that have been critically panned. This was not one of those movies.
Yeah, no, this one couldn't be critically panned because they didn't screen it for anybody.
Well, let's put it this way. When you have CG that looks like it came from the Ray Harryhausen way of making animation, we're talking like 12 frames of animation in a 24 frame per second movie.
Yeah, that's not good.
You have a robot that looks less likely to be realistic than the one that you had in iRobot, which is also very bad. You have plot devices that are brought up and recycled from other movies in the past. Oh, my God.
Yep.
This movie just could not.
It couldn't.
I'm just going to ruin it for you. You know what? I'm going to save you the chance of having to go see this shitty movie. Scientist guy who is working on being able to transfer human consciousness into like backup memory kind of thing. And then they're trying to put that memory into a robot body. Which makes me wonder, okay, and so the first time you're having a problem with this is because they get these human consciousnesses from, they're in Puerto Rico doing this, which I don't know why they make a big thing out of being Puerto Rico. Maybe they got tax cuts or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that
maybe they think that Puerto Rico, you don't have to follow the same laws that you do in the United States when you do.
Sure.
I don't know why they made this a fucking part of the movie. There's a lot about this movie that I didn't fucking understand. Anyway, they have trouble making the human consciousness come alive in the robots because, as you find out later in the movie, they think that there's some higher or lower reptilian part of your brain where if you don't realize that you're in your own body with your own lungs and stuff like that, you reject the body and like the robot tries to tear itself apart kind of thing.
Uh-huh. That's how it works, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so guy's trying to figure this out. His project close to going under because it's costing too much money kind of thing. Takes his family on a weekend vacation to somewhere because that's what you do when your project's about to be shut down. And they get into a car accident, and instead of doing what the normal person would do, which would be calling the police and saying, hey, all of my family died in this car accident, he instead calls his best friend who happens to work at the place too. And they take all of the bodies into work, which if you think about anything that happened in this movie for more than what they give you, you're automatically going, this would never fucking happen. This would never fucking happen.
Yeah.
This is a bad movie, people. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's a discount upgrade.
Oh, man. Upgrade was really fucking good. This was not Upgrade. Like, I really enjoyed that movie. But along the way, okay, so his family dies. He decides to back them all up into these computer disk drives kind of thing.
Like, you.
And instead of, going with the robot part of the script, he decides to use his friend who happens to be master of cloning animals because we needed that somehow to come from. And he decides to clone his family. Except
like you do.
He only has 3 pods to resuscitate 4 of the people in his family. So he has to make a Sophie's Choice kind of thing where he has to decide which kid is not being brought back. And how are you going to somehow make it happen where the kid, when they bring him back and they implant the memories back into this body, that they're not going to know anything about this kid that died? Oh, he's going to go into the memory and delete all references to it.
Sure.
And somehow also delete the fact that she existed in the real world and people would come looking for her. And Jesus Christ. You think 2 minutes into this movie and you're just like, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. It was bad. I've never been close to walking out of a movie as I was to this one. I'm like, why am I wasting my fucking time with this movie? It was bad. And near the end, it turns into a whole evil corporation. We're going to take your family because we let them happen because, you know, we're the evil corporation that's going to make evil money off of the evil things that we're invested in. It's like,
yeah, of course, because that's
God,
what
it's stupid. Oh, it's fucking stupid. And I'm mad at myself for watching it, but I can't even like enjoy it for hate watching. It was just bad, like really fucking bad.
This is why you don't just pick movies at random.
I just decided, I'm like, I'm going to go see a fucking movie. I don't care. I don't even know what it is. I probably would have had a better time watching Holmes and Watson, which is also getting canned, but I like that humor. I'm a Tim and Eric fan. I could sit through those two just making jokes about things.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard some very interesting things about that one.
Well, I spent real money on Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie, so I think I could watch that one just fine. So what about you, Kyle? What have you been up to, man?
So the I don't even know if I can really talk about it publicly yet, but they just screened the Kid Who Would Be King, which is a new kind of Arthurian Sword in the Stone for kids. Was
Patrick Stewart the guy that plays Merlin in that one? I can't remember.
Yes.
Okay, I did see that.
Patrick Stewart is in this one. I get a kick out of kids movies because it's an entirely different level of analysis. You can't watch it.
You can't watch kids movies as an adult.
Yeah, you can't really watch them as an adult.
You can watch it as an adult, but you better lower your expectations.
You can't evaluate them as an adult because it's not for you. It's not for people of your age group. It's not for parents. It's for the kids. So that's how you have to look at it. It's kind of hard to get out of your own head sometimes and think of it that way. So it's fun. It's kind of like really getting outside your own headspace.
That's how I felt about Bumblebee seeing that last week. I'm like, there's some stuff in there for me, but my kids will dig this more than I will. So
yeah, and that's kind of how you have to look at it sometimes. But I enjoyed the naive's not the right word, but it wasn't condescending. It was a kids movie that was not condescending. There was a certain level of innocence, which is nice to see, and it's also nice to see the ones that don't like beat you over the head with, here's the point. It kind of does to a certain extent because it needs to, because that's the story. But it doesn't beat you over. Doesn't beat the kids over the head with here are all the modern day parallels.
Yeah.
Even though as an adult watching it going, wow, that's a fucking modern day parallel if I've ever seen one.
Now, if people do want to go out and watch a good sci-fi movie, I highly suggest going and watch Kin instead, because that was a good fucking movie.
Kin is a good one. It should be, if it's not out on disc yet.
I think it's out on digital right now. I don't know if no, it's out on disc. I'm sure it has to be because it's been months since that came out.
It should be.
Go watch Kin. Yeah. Good fucking movie.
Yeah.
Low key sci-fi too. So until that lasts like 30 minutes.